to the neighborhood where it feels like your childhood. Your friendly neighborhood guy gives it her all, bringing you the local haul. All kinds of comics, classic and new, Marvel, DC, and indies too. Readers and creators in unity. Welcome to our community.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the neighborhood and welcome to your friendly neighborhood comic show. If you don't know me, I am your host, your friendly neighborhood by Lauren. And this, again, is your friendly neighborhood comic show where every week we keep hope, give help, and share comics with all. This is our 16th episode and our second one back from hiatus. And I'm super excited, guys, even though I am still in a different room. Obviously, this is a different space. I'm just glad there's a lot of memorabilia still around here. So anyways, I'm glad to be here. Happy to have some awesome guests on. We're talking lots of indie comics. We're talking Kickstarters. We've got a game to play if you've been missing the big games. It's going to be a great time. Before we do our first segment, I just wanted to let y'all know that at the end of the show, I will be announcing a giveaway. This is probably one of the bigger giveaways I've done just because of what these items are. So obviously you guys will be the first ones to know about it before it goes up on Twitter. So stick around to the end of the show if you're able to, so that you can be the first one to get in on what it is. But with that said, let's just get into it. Let's do our neighborhood check-in. We've got Eric in the chat. What's up, Eric? I keep wanting to say good morning, but it's not morning for me. DC Patrol was in here like over an hour before the show, stopping by, say hi. I appreciate the drive by, DC. And we've got Ballyrack back in the chat. I think I missed him last episode during the show, so I'm glad you're able to stop by today, my friend. We've got E-Man in the chat. I'm surprised he's here because he's supposed to be on the show today. So I don't know why he's in the chat. Hopefully he'll show up, guys. Hopefully he's gonna pop by with the camera. But that said, I think we should just bring in our guests that are gonna be on today. It looks like we do have some interesting folks in the green room. It looks like a certain person made it. So I don't know if you guys know this guy, but if you don't, you should. He does his own show on his own YouTube channel. He also does stuff with the team he works with. They're all really fantastic. He's one of my good friends. I know the first time we chatted, we ended up going completely off the rails. So we'll see how today goes. But let's bring in my good friend, C-List E-Man. What's up?
Good afternoon, morning to everyone out there. Lauren, thank you for having me on the show. This is gonna be so fun. Like, I can already tell, like, the energy is really like nice and cutesy, and I'm digging it. I'm really liking this.
Yes. Well, I figure, especially because it's Sunday, we're all tired thinking about this last week. We're tired thinking about what's coming up. Like, we got to have some cutesy shit. I mean, how else do we get by in life without cutesy shit?
It's super positive. It's just nice and fluffy. And there are times you just need nice and fluffy, like in the early afternoon. It's just, I kind of want to feel it. Let's put on Lauren. That's an awesome show.
Yeah. Well, tell us, before we bring in our next guest, tell us a bit about you and your channel a bit more, because you've been doing this, I don't know, maybe even longer than I have. And you're, always super positive as well. So did my camera die? It's fine, guys. This is a great day today. I'm going to turn it back on.
Super okay. Positive. It's positive.
Hey, again, positivity. While I'm getting my camera on, why don't you tell them about you?
Sure, no problem. So my name's E-Man from the C-List Villains podcast. I do have my own channel, C-List E-Man, here on YouTube, where I do unboxings, new comic book day hauls, and every once in a while I'll do the E-Man show, where it's kind of like the week in review, like the week in geek. And once in a while I'll have guests on there so we can just kind of discuss, what has happened over the last week. And then every Monday at 8 p.m. Pacific time, I go live with the C-List Villains podcast on YouTube, also a different channel. And that's where we have our big interviews, where we've interviewed people like Ross Ritchie, the Miranda brothers, John Jang, Aaron Bartling. We go on that. The big stuff goes on the C-List Villains, and then like my stuff is just all fun unboxing and just hanging out.
Nice. Well, your stuff's big too. I mean, yeah, you have the big group, but like that's like saying like the Justice League is where you go and Superman's just there. Like, come on, come on, don't do
I'm
that
more
to
like
yourself.
I'm more like the Aquaman of the group, kind of like just hold on, the Jason Momoa Aquaman. Hold on, let me get that. Let me go ahead and
Plot
don't listen to
yourself,
me.
yes. The Aquaman OnlyFans will be live tomorrow, 9 a.m. Monday. Early bird gets the worm, guys. You heard it here first.
Not saying I have a fake Jason Momoa Instagram account out there, but if you happen to find it, go ahead and talk to that guy. I think he's stealing some of my pictures.
I feel like we need to bring somebody in to rein us in, or maybe create more chaos. I'm not really sure. How do you feel about that, E-Man?
Let's bring in some more chaos. I mean, funness. It's gonna be great.
All right. So I know last episode we missed a little bit more talk about more of the indie comics and stuff. So I wanted to bring on an indie guest who is wonderful. He does this amazing comic called Hallowed North. It's one of my favorite comics I've ever read, and I don't say that lightly. Hands down, it's one of the most impactful I've read. It's gorgeous. It's well written. And issue 2 just got kickstarted. So without further ado, let's bring in the creator of Hallowed North, Mr. Jeremiah Espinoza. How's it going?
Hey, everybody. Thanks for inviting me on, Lauren. Good to meet you, Eamon. I thought I was awake all day today. I've been up since 6, but I'm definitely going to need to pick up the pace if I'm going to be matching y'all's energy today for sure.
We can slow it down just a little bit, Jeremiah, if you'd like. We can go in.
I was gonna say,
ASMR the whole show if you'd like,
I was gonna say,
I can work with that.
That voice.
Yeah, I can definitely work with that. I can work with that for sure. That's a little bit more my pace. But you know what? This is a lot of fun already. Having a great time already. Just listening to the two of y'all talk.
Then we'll go ahead and continue speaking like this just for you, Jeremiah, okay?
This is now the whatever voice he's doing show. Is it Batman? Is it ASMR? Is it... I don't know. You tell me.
It's the Aquaman ASMR show with your friendly neighborhood bye and Jeremiah Espinoza to speak about Hallowed North. I'm not taking over your show, Lauren. I'm sorry.
Coming to you live on OnlyFans tomorrow at 9 a.m. sharp. There you go, guys. It's happening. Well, Jeremiah, before we make this all about us, tell us more about you, about Hallowed North, just a little bit, because we're going to talk about it further in the show, but just so people are kickstarted with you. Aha.
Sure. Jeremiah Espinoza, I'm a writer. I have been working on some form of storytelling since I was a little kid, but only recently started getting into writing comic books. And that first one that I wanted to tackle was a story that has meant a lot to me for quite some time since I've dealt with my own struggles of depression, Hallowed North. That was what I decided was going to be my first real big project to try to push. I'd been in an anthology that was kickstarted, and I saw that process, and it became a little bit more accessible, at least initially, before understanding the effort that a Kickstarter took. I was like, oh, well, I'll put it on a crowdfunding campaign and we'll make it that way. Not really thinking into all the effort that actually goes into that. But as that process has, as I've learned about that process and now done, 2 of them, it's really been amazing to be able to tell this story, to be able to get it out there and be able to have the feedback that it's received, hearing this is one of your, that this is one of your favorite comics of all time. You have no idea what that means to me. It's unreal. It's unreal that the story is affecting people and reaching people the way that it has. And I'm very fortunate to be able to have that experience for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know me and everybody else that's read it or is going to read it at some point, we're all super fortunate just to have a creator like you, not only willing to write something like this, but wanting to share it with us. And, even if it does have more personal value to you, because those are the hardest stories to share, the stuff that you can connect with. So I'm super excited to talk about it a little bit more into the show and show those of you watching some panels from it, what it looks like. If you're a horror fan, if you are a fan of good writing around mental illness and the awareness around those issues, you're gonna dig the hell out of this. It's so freaking cool. So yeah, thanks for joining the show today, guys. I think we should just go ahead and get started, and let's talk about our poll results. I'm doing the transition today, guys. I'm doing them. All right.
I love that. Like, oh, what's the next thing that's coming up? Poll results. Yeah.
You know, I think I need to like get some animation of you, E-Man, so I can like use you in the little video. That'd be cool. Like poll result punching you in the face. That's a great
We'll work
idea.
on that for sure. I'll go ahead and create a GIF for you and just send it over. Just animate it and you just see a big old fist right in the camera. Bam.
I'm in. I'm so in. But what I'm not sure about myself is the poll results. So this week's question was, who would be our fictional character neighborhood pilot? So if you guys don't know how these polls work, typically what I do is on Twitter, I will give a poll and I'll say who would be this role in our fictional neighborhood. And they're all fictional characters from comics. And people get to choose who they think would fit the role best or who they'd like to see in that role. So this week we did neighborhood pilot, and the options were Jarvis from Marvel, Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel, Hal Jordan, and the Doctor from Doctor Who. And almost a landslide. I mean, Carol was kind of close, but Hal Jordan came through with 47.4%. So I wasn't too surprised about this, but I can't help but feel a little bit of disappointment. What are you thinking, Jeremiah? You look like you got the gears turning in your head.
I'm a little surprised that it wasn't a little bit more balanced. I thought sure that Captain Marvel would have a little bit more of a shot against Hal Jordan. To be fair, I don't have a whole lot of knowledge about Hal Jordan. The one exposure that I have to him is from The New Frontier. That's the only story that I've read that has included him in it, which is great. And I love his character in it. But I voted in the poll and I voted for Carol Danvers, personally.
Yeah, that's who I thought, but the neighborhood said, screw you, Lauren.
But yeah, almost 50%. That's insane. And I don't know if that's just my own limited knowledge of Hal Jordan. Do I need to go out and get more Green Lantern books and find out about his history more?
I mean, aren't you supposed to watch like the Green Lantern movie with Ryan Reynolds? Isn't that like the piece of art that we all should be watching? I mean, that's shocking. Actually,
I think I did start it, but I can't remember more than the first. I think I fell asleep in it. Honestly, there's like 3 or 4 superhero movies.
It's better.
That every time I start them, I fall asleep in them every single time. But yeah, it's. I have to say, if I'm judging it on movies alone, I preferred the Captain Marvel one.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard because all of these characters are a pilot in some way, you can argue. Jarvis is an AI, or, even if he's a person, he can be a pilot, right? Captain Marvel, she was clearly a pilot. Hal Jordan, 100% pilot. And the Doctor, you can argue, is a pilot just because of what he does with the TARDIS. But yeah, I was just like, I would be interested to see like the breakdown of who voted in the poll, because I feel like there'd be a trend as to why Hal Jordan won. E-Man, what do you think? Did you get to vote in the poll, or who would you have voted for if you could have?
I voted, and I was surprised that Jarvis wasn't higher. I went ahead and voted for Jarvis because I'm like, you know what? That's the AI right there. He should be able to control everything and anything with like just a thought. I'm like, dude, Jarvis would be a really cool, and he's pretty cool in the MCU. Before he was Vision, like he had a personality. He was still quirky, but like he ran the mission. Like he was like, I'm there with you. Just very straight line kind of a guy. Yeah, he's got no personality. He's got the personality of a robot, I guess. but like he would have. I would have thought that he would have been like, as far as a pilot goes, and I don't care like what kind of pilot, whether it's an airline pilot flying a Cessna or just a Quinjet. I would think that he would probably be the better pilot out of all of them. Now again. Hal Jordan's version in that movie, yes, he might have been fantastic. I hear the movie's immaculate, one to watch. Definitely one for the collection. But I personally voted for Jarvis, and then I would have gone with Carol Danvers. Like I honestly I like the Brie. Like people are gonna hate me after this. Probably I shouldn't say, but I do like the Brie Larson Captain Marvel. But that is
I
also
love
because
her.
I don't read the comics, but I hear she has like that kind of attitude,
Yeah.
and I've heard that Brie Larson brought that attitude for it. I guess it's just what she did off screen is what turned a lot of people off with Brie Larson. I personally like her as Captain Marvel, so I
What
can't
did
wait
she
for
do
that.
off screen? Like,
I don't
she
know.
hasn't done anything.
It was the whole. I was look. Let's not get into that right there.
That's
I
too
We'd be
much.
personally
giving
like it. It
attention
was
to
a
people
lot.
yeah, we'd be giving attention to people whose opinions, like, I mean, do we really want to dive into that can of worms?
I
So
mean,
Jarvis
that's
as the
fair.
pilot is who I'm going with.
Yeah. I did like Jarvis. I thought that was a fun option. I think it was my friend James Caudell who gave that suggestion on Twitter. Because when I make the polls, I try to put at least 2 or 3 of the options are what you guys recommend on Twitter when I ask for recommendations. And then maybe 1 or 2 are what I like. And Carol just happened to be one of mine. So at least she did well in the poll. She didn't do horrific. So
She was
it
like a
tells me it wasn't the worst choice.
close second, like a real close second.
Yeah. Do you guys in these polls like and this is for those you watching and you two obviously here, but do you guys when you vote in these polls, do you like going for stuff that like fits perfectly? You're like neighborhood pilot. The best pilot ever has to be this person. Or are you guys looking more silly with it? You're like, oh, this be the worst pilot? Pick them.
Yes.
I
The best or the
Great.
worst. Yes.
Well, your dentist poll, that was definitely, the best of the worst. Who are we going to go with? I think all the choices, I can't remember who the other ones were. I voted for Venom also in that one. But yeah, like absolutely
Yeah.
in that scenario, he's got the shiniest teeth to me, but he would also be like one of the most horrifying dentists that I could possibly go to, and I'm pretty sure that it would be a world of pain. Vote. Yeah, he gets my vote.
Yeah.
In this particular case, I was like, no, I think she might actually be, the best pilot out of that group.
Yeah.
I know it's
No,
not comic related, but I would have thought like if anyone watched like the old movie, that old musical called Little Shop of Horrors, and there was
Yeah.
a dentist in
Oh,
there.
with Steve Martin dentist? Yeah.
Yes. Ah, taking out that tooth. Like you crazy.
Yep.
What was it? Steve Martin
Yeah.
and Bill Murray, wasn't it? Like who
Yeah.
was
Bill Murray was
the
the patient in that scene.
patient?
Yeah.
That dentist.
Chase here in the chat, he said it's like Cards Against Humanity for me. Just have to feel it out and decide if I'm voting real or funny. I think that's valid. Like you just gotta feel the energy.
That's the perfect way to take it. It's Cards Against Humanity on Twitter. What's the
I
best
like
choice?
it.
Yeah.
Look, don't sue me, Cards Against Humanity. I'm not naming it that. This is what the neighborhood's decided. It's I like Ballyrock's comment here regarding Green Lantern because obviously, gotta say I sat down and watched Green Lantern a couple years ago. I didn't think it was as terrible as its reputation suggested. Not saying it's good, but DC has done much worse. So what would you say DC has done worse than Green Lantern in terms of feature films specifically? Like, is there something that they've done worse than Green Lantern?
Suicide
maybe-
Squad 1?
Suicide, yeah.
The Halle Berry Catwoman movie.
That's so sad for her too. Like, it's not her fault. It's not her fault.
It's okay. She can move past that. Like she's done enough amazing things before and after that.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
that could be the one where it's like, let's not talk about that ever again. What else? I mean, honestly, as much as I like the lead actress, I didn't think Birds of Prey was that good. Like it had potential,
Really?
but I didn't.
I enjoy
not
the
like
hell
Birds of
out of
Prey.
that film.
I thought it was fun.
I
Yeah, I
don't
liked
think
it a lot.
about as long as I don't think about the comic accuracy, because that will hurt my head. But if I turn that off, it's a really fun time. But I
And I
get
think-
why it didn't hit people the same way.
Yeah, I think that was the issue with me is that I was just trying to connect it with the comic, and it just felt like it missed the mark with that one. However, Mary Elizabeth, she was awesome in that one right there. Like I really liked her character. But someone mentioned too, like the Batman and Robin movies from the '90s. So
I will die on the hill that Batman and Robin is a fun movie to watch. and I still enjoy watching it
Oh.
just for Arnold, just to see Arnold Schwarzenegger have a great time, and like, because nobody's having more fun in a movie set than that dude as Mr. Freeze. Like, go back and
Freeze.
watch. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's hilarious.
He wasn't a bad casting choice, even though he's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, somehow he made it work. He wasn't the problem with that film either.
God, I hated it when they both came out of the water. Holy rusted metal, Batman! What? There's holes.
Metal.
They're
It's
metal.
holy.
They're rusted. Like, oh my! I'm gonna die.
I love how this discussion on the poll just turned into hot DC tapes. Like, I feel like right now in just the nerdy world, it's so easy for a conversation to become that just because of all the craziness surrounding DC, you know, mostly out of the comics, but also in the comics, you know, because they're not perfect either. They're trying, I think.
They're good. They're good. Some of them are good. Some of them are good. Some.
Arnold one-liners have never been the argument about the movie. He was the shining light. See? Chase is right. Batman and Robin is so bad it's good. I mean,
And that's my argument.
is that
on
it? Okay.
I don't think that it's a good movie. I will never argue that it is a good movie. It is in fact bad, but it is fun for me. I enjoy watching it.
I think I'm gonna have to re-review those movies.
It's my kid's favorite Batman movie out of the group, you know, but they're little still, so they don't know any better yet.
It was funny. It was
E-Man,
flashy.
you should re-review them, but you should record some like live reactions to different scenes.
Like, oh god. Holy rusted metal, Batman. Oh dear God, I have to live through that again. You know what? That's actually a really good idea. That's a really good idea. Like re-review it and just have just actual reactions. Just have my camera just recording like my face. Just like, what? Oh, Jesus. Oh. Okay, that part was funny.
I'm loving all the Arnold love. I think at some point he's gonna have to join the neighborhood. Am I wrong about that? Are we gonna have to throw Arnold Schwarzenegger himself into the neighborhood?
I'll have my people contact his people. We'll get him on very soon. Don't worry about it. I got you, Lauren.
The friendly neighborhood Terminator.
No questions. There's only one option in the poll.
Freeze. I'm sorry.
Trick question then, you're right. I could really get people with that option. Victor Freeze or Arnold Schwarzenegger. Do your worst.
Freeze. That's all I can think of. But you know what? Yeah, now I'm gonna have to watch that movie just for the one-liners because there was a bunch of really cheesy ones. Just, oh god, I'm gonna have to re-review this movie, aren't I?
Oh. You know what? When you do that, let us know. We'll make it a neighborhood movie night. We'll barge in and watch you struggle to watch the film.
Oh god, I can't do this. I can't do. It'll be an hour of just like.
All right, so we need Mr. Freeze in the neighborhood and Arnold Schwarzenegger is what I'm hearing. Does Mr. Freeze have to be first? Is that what this means?
Do y'all have somebody driving an ice cream truck around the neighborhood yet? Like, do you have an ice cream man yet? Because you could put him in that poll.
It's true. He should be the one driving the ice cream truck. Oh, okay, that'll be next week's poll. Done.
Who would be driving the ice cream truck? Look at that. Jeremiah just came up with like a fantastic poll.
Yeah.
It has to be comic book related? So we can't have Debo
Well,
from
it's
like...
just a role in the neighborhood, and then you just pick comic characters under that. So the question itself does have to be comic related.
Well, I'm pretty sure you're going to have to actually throw the ice cream man in there, too.
Neighborhood
Or is that kind of like on the dot?
Teacher? Who's going to be that, Chase? Who are you nominating? I'm terrified. You're going to say the Joker or something.
It's not a tumor. It's not a tumor.
I think it means kindergarten cop. Arnold.
Going back to Arnold. Like, Arnold is just not leaving this chat right now.
He's everything now. He's going to hold multiple jobs down. It's going to be like the early 90s for him.
The only way he could be a kindergarten teacher, though, is that if he's like the guy from Predator, he's just walking around with a scar, just trying to teach kids. Just
look. If it bleeds, you can kill it.
Get to the chopper. Oh man, that's terrible.
We're gonna need our neighborhood chopper too. We'll have to call him Megatron or whoever becomes a helicopter.
Ooh. Yes.
This has gone off the rails. But I'm loving it. In case you're jumping in late, people watching, we've been talking about our poll results, and our neighborhood pilot is Hal Jordan. If you like this, let us know in the chat. If you hate it, let us know in the chat. If you didn't see the person or creature or whatever you wanted nominated, let me know. Come yell at me. I'm all about it. Yeah, any final thoughts on the poll results this week and what you want to see next week for next week's poll?
I think we already talked about what we want to see on next week's poll. Jeremiah has a fantastic idea. We need to see who's driving around that ice cream truck.
Ice cream truck. We're gonna have to name the ice cream truck after you, Jeremiah. Maybe the Jeremiah ice cream truck.
That's an honor, the highest honor.
Yes. But speaking of food, yes, this is a weird transition, everybody. The next segment is something I like to call Cookin' with Creatives, and we're gonna chat in just a second with Jeremiah all about his indie comic and Kickstarter, Hallowed North. It's a vibe.
That makes me just want to dance. Like I was at a wedding last night, and my cousin was like, "This kind of music, you just have to like look up in the sky and just wave your hands and just do like one of these turns." That's what it feels like.
I wanted to have more of an artsy vibe. That was kind of my goal, because this is where we're gonna, really put the highlight on the creator and get into your mindset of how you created whatever the hell you created. So, in case you guys don't know, this is Hallowed North, as I've been saying this entire show today. And as it's described, it's a dark fantasy comic about mental illness. Just recently, the second one was funded on Kickstarter, which is amazing. And I definitely put my own money into it. But yeah, Jeremiah, can you tell us a little bit about the story itself, like where the first issue starts off?
So the story is told entirely from within the mind of somebody struggling with mental illness. It was a way to kind of express what's going on when somebody is in their own depressive episode, what they're feeling, what they're dealing with. I wrote it as a way to kind of show that to my own family members, the people that I cared about whenever I was going through my own history of depression. Because whenever you're dealing with depression, you don't really have it's not like when you get physically hurt, you don't have a cut to show somebody, you don't have a broken arm, you're just kind of dealing with it all within. And so the story follows these creations called vapors, these mental constructs of people from our protagonist's past, or constructs of his wants and his desires, his fantasies, or what have you. And they exist in this world, Hallowed North. And during this story, at the very beginning, our protagonist is faced with a monster that is starting to rise in Hallowed North, and it starts to threaten everything that our main character Ben loves and bring ruin about in Hallowed North. And now the vapors have to kind of team up and figure out a way to stop it. Sorry for a minute there. I actually haven't talked Hallowed North in a few weeks. It's been kind of a nice little break. I had to kick the wheels going again. But yeah, it is a dark fantasy comic. It is there's a lot of horror in it, especially now in the beginning of the story as the monster's threat begins to grow and the effect that it's having on Hallowed North is being felt. You're really seeing a lot of that at the very beginning. But the cool thing about this new issue that's coming out with issue 2 is that we're really starting to dive into that dark fantasy aspect of it. The first issue is kind of, everyday life with a monster in the mix, but we're definitely going to be seeing a little bit more of the weird and the strange going on. And I hope y'all follow along. The first issue is actually available to read right now on my coffee shop. So if anybody hasn't checked it out yet, it is pretty interesting. The way that I pitch it to people is it's kind of like Pixar's Inside Out meets Nightmare on Elm Street. And that's kind of the vibe that we were going for from the get-go with it.
Yeah, that's a great description of it to me. One of the things I've been fascinated about with how people are depicting mental illness in fiction or other literature is the approach of taking mental illnesses and personifying them and physically manifesting them into monsters. What made you personally want to go into a similar approach with your own spin on it?
So when I when I was dealing with my own form of mental illness, the biggest thing that I struggled with my depression was this constant thought that I was that I wasn't really that I wasn't good enough, that my family would be better off without me, that just really heavy thoughts and really manipulative thoughts that I was having. My own brain was telling me, and
Mhm.
in my mind, as something, this is probably one of the most difficult the points of my life period, getting through that one particular depressive episode. uh it's scary, and thinking back on it now, now that I'm doing well, now that I'm in a better place in my life, the idea of ever being back at that point again is horrifying to me. And so what
Yeah.
better way to kind of capture that than that image that you're seeing there on the screen, right? This really monstrous figure, but that not only is it monstrous, not only is it terrifying, but it's also conniving and cunning, and it's trying to trick you. And that's why the image
Mhm.
that you see there, the image that Jay went with, Jay Sheik, the artist for the book, um, he has it, the monster beckoning to this is is this your salvation? Is this the way that, is this your way to getting through this? And it's not. But in the moment, when you're in the midst of it, sometimes that's the only way that you feel you can get through it. So yeah, it's really trying to focus on the way that illness makes you feel. And when you're struggling with it, it's like you're at war with your own mind. And
Mhm.
that's kind of the feel that the book was going with. And I thought a monster would be the best way to express that.
Yeah, and I wanted to pull this up. I pulled up the first issue, which I have digitally from you, and I wanted to show kind of what you're talking about, right? Where even though, yes, there's a monster and it's very creepy in that way, it also just focuses so much on how terrible it feels and what that actually feels like. And I think on this page alone here, you did such a good job. The page says, when it sets in, or rather, once you notice it's set in, the trail is cold. There's no choice but to accept it. This is your world. And you kind of see a little blood there. And that's so haunting. But as somebody myself who's gone through, mental illness and having these episodes and things like that, you did such a great job capturing it. So I just wanted to further illustrate what you were saying with that, because it's not even the scariest part about this book isn't even the monster. It's how real this feels. And how much like I can see this and I can feel something similar to what I felt when I've actually been in those terrible places. So the fact that you and the artist captured that, like, full props to you. You guys are absolutely brilliant here.
Well, thank you. There was definitely a real concern when when we took this story and broke it up into individual issues, because it was originally going to be an entire graphic novel, start to finish. For But budgetary reasons, we went ahead and we decided we were going to fund for each individual issue as we went along, instead of having to do one big lump sum that we might not have been able to meet. Um, but when we did that, yes, we have these really dark moments, these really depressing moments, and in the first issue, especially, the first issue has such a almost suffocating feeling of overpowering sadness throughout the whole book. Um,
Mhm.
I felt like there was a little bit of a responsibility on my part as a writer and as a creator. The story that I'm trying to tell is ultimately one of hope. It's ultimately one of being able to persevere through this point of darkness. Um, but especially people who have had their own experiences as well, reading this, it can sometimes be a little, it could be, triggering to some people, or it could be, it could reflect their own experiences. There's a lot of familial relationships that also get explored in it, and a lot of it is echoed based on, like, actual, are you going to join your family? The family in this scene that you're showing is
Mhm.
extremely unsupportive, and it's just I wanted to be able to I wanted to show the reality of the situation, and
Mhm.
but I wanted to do it in a way that also showed that there was some sort of movement forward, or some hope lining the story. And I think we do that. I think we do that in the first issue. Because
Mhm.
anybody who comes to this at potentially the wrong point, I didn't want it to affect them in a I didn't want it to affect them for the worse. I wanted to show that there was some sort of, you're not the only person going through this. This isn't your own, you're not alone here. Um, but but I also wanted to be true to the experience as well.
Yeah, it's really
Tightrope.
hard to balance those.
See, I grew up in a time. I grew up in the '80s, early '90s, when if people were having some kind of issues like that, people would be, oh, they're crazy, or just leave them alone. They're not well.
Mm.
There was certain terms that was used back then that it's just not okay to use now. What I'm hearing, and what I think is great is nowadays people are able to talk about their mental illness. They're able to put something out there. You're actually able to put yourself out there for people to see, which is more important rather than just holding everything in together, which is what what I grew up knowing. Like, you have depression, you have some kind of mental illness, you need to keep it here. What you're doing, Jeremiah, is you've created a comic to express your own feelings, and what you've gone through, and just kind of let people know what people are going through in this situation. And I find it amazing that now we're living in a time where people can freely talk about this subject to raise awareness to those who are struggling with it. And hopefully, we'll be able to find a lot of people help with something like this. And again, I just commend you for doing something like this, and then putting it in an entertaining way, right? By putting it on a comic book, but for people to, grow to understand it a little more. Amazing work.
Well, I really appreciate that. And I had the same experience growing up. Mental illness, there were two versions of it, right? There was the kind that was institutional, like the kind that, uh,
Mm.
you're a psychopath or whatever, whatever terms that they wanted to use, and they needed to go, into an asylum, or you didn't have anything wrong with you. You were just sad. Those are the two very wide, differences there. And it was one or the other. You were either that, you were either absolutely insane, or you just needed to go be out in the sun for a little bit and you'd feel better after a few hours, or you needed to try being happier or whatever. Think happy thoughts, think positive thoughts. So yeah, whenever I had my experiences growing up, I've been in therapy off and on since I was 8 years old. Back then, you didn't talk about it. Back then, you didn't say. Back then, you didn't say anything. And as I got older, yeah, there was a musician whose work I really loved. His name is Scott Hutchinson. He was the lead singer and the guitarist for the band Frightened Rabbit. And
Mhm.
he was very vocal about his struggles with mental illness in his songs, and I connected with that music really well. I loved it, and it was influential on my own writing and my own healing experience. And then I found out a couple years back that he had actually ended his life, and I remember having this like real, it was a gut punch, and it's probably the first celebrity that I actually got emotional over whenever I heard that they had died. Or celebrity, I mean, not a lot, maybe not everybody has known about him, but
Mhm.
it was the first person who I didn't know to some degree that I actually had a real sadness over when they passed. And I wrote a piece that I put on Medium about mental illness and my own experiences with it, and how I felt like I had, gotten through that dark tunnel, and how I felt like I was on the other side of it, but how I can't, it's almost like its own version of remission. You can't stop being
Mhm.
proactive in it. You have to keep track of it, because it can sneak up on you if you're not careful, and it can come back, and it can hit you right when you least expect it. Um, so yeah, it became very important for me to be more vocal about it, and that piece in particular got a lot of that piece that I wrote for Medium got a lot of positive reception. People saying, "Well, I really appreciate you sharing this story." People who I would never in a million years have guessed that they'd struggle with, that they'd been having their own struggles, like people that guys from that generation, the guy growing up in the 80s or earlier, coming up to me and saying, I deal with it too, and that that image that you created there, or that the artist created for the first cover, that's that's what it feels like. It feels like you're being pulled away, and I'm like, wow, this is there might be something here, there might actually be something here. So yeah, it's absolutely important to talk about it, to normalize that stigma. There's still so much, as much as effort has been made to talk about it and to make it less uncommon. There's still, especially in the older generations, there's still a lot of holdout there, and the more we can normalize it, the better that it's going to be for everybody. If me talking about my struggles, as uncomfortable as it can be sometimes, saves somebody else's life, keeps them from feeling alone, keeps them from feeling like they're suffocating, then I'm gonna do it.
My girlfriend just recently told me that she's got a group of friends. They all have they're coworkers, and they all kind of go through different struggles, and she tells me that one of her coworkers, she's like, there are certain things I can tell my husband, but he won't fully understand. In this group of people with you and my coworkers and whatnot, I can tell you guys exactly what I'm going through. Everyone in this group knows exactly what I'm going through, because no one's going to understand if I tell them exactly what's in my head. And that's a huge struggle. That's really big for someone to say, hey, look, this is really what's going through. And I'm just happy that there are groups of people out there that can talk about this, so this helps a whole lot right here. And I'm glad that more people are talking about their mental illness and finding other people struggling similarly, because that's how we're going to be able to get through, right? That's how everyone's going to be able to move on to the next stage, is by saying, hey, look, I have an issue. This is what I see. And that's important. Real important.
Yeah. All that being said, the moment that I'm done with Hallowed North, I'm writing like a rainbow, unicorn butterfly book with nothing but good feelings and vibes, because it's definitely, it's stressful to write occasionally, and it can get heavy to talk about. Somebody asked me during the first issue, when during an interview for the first issue, they're like, does it feel cathartic for you to be able to go through and kind of like put this all into perspective whenever you're writing? And I'm like, no, actually, it kind of sucks, because I'm out of that mindset now, and I'm having to revisit it to get the emotion exactly the way it is, to get that page that you see on the screen there. I'm revisiting all those feelings. So yeah, unicorns, rainbows, butterflies.
I mean, it sounds like the next project should be something like Twig, where it's just nice and fluffy and cute. Yeah. That should be the next project right there.
I'll just say Twig, or it's like you're going from season 4 of She-Ra to season 5. Like season 4 was like a punch in the face, every episode of sadness, and then season 5 it's like everything's gay and happy now, guys. Don't worry about it.
So essentially, just like a nice My Little Pony episode. That's really all. That's what we need right now. It's just super
palate cleanser. Just
there you go.
Something a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah,
something like the first 10 minutes of this show. The first 15 minutes of this show.
just create your own neighborhood.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Make a comic called The Neighborhood, and it's just versions of E-Man and I, but they aren't us. I mean, it's just a coincidence, guys.
That's the next logical step in your show, is making a comic book of the neighborhood, right? Like, you've got your pilot and everything.
It's Z-Man, and it'll be Z-Man and Sharon. That's like the next characters right there.
That would be so cool, though. Making a comic book of the neighborhood, like that. I think that could be something down the road, but that's gonna take some time.
Yeah, for sure.
Or will it? Lauren, let me introduce you to Jeremiah Espinoza, who knows how to write comics, and he's looking to do a nice, fluffy,
all right,
comic.
Send me an artist too, E-Man. Send us an artist.
You know what? That's funny you say that. I actually found someone last night, so we might have a team here. I'll be like co-producer, like in the background, like you guys. This is the idea. You guys do it. Boom. Next Kickstarter. friendly neighborhood comic book, I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, why not? It just makes you happy. Like you read what's a like really depressing series other than Hallowed North? Like, I don't know. You read
The
Philadelphia
Walking
and
Dead.
you touching your feelings, and then you pick that up and you're
No.
like, haha, I'm all better
Well,
now.
haha was really sad, and then going off of
Oh
that, Ice
yeah?
Cream Man is pretty like it's pretty deep. So yeah, we gotta haha those up. Like we gotta make yeah, we gotta bring back like the nice and fluffiness from our childhood. You brought up Ice Cream Man earlier. There was like an Ice Cream Man that just rolled by here just earlier this morning. It's like not even 10 o'clock. Well, it's almost 11 o'clock here, but like Ice Cream Man is just all over the place here. So there you go, boom, you got yourself your
Yeah,
comic
Valerie
right there.
Rock brought up Human Remains. That is very fucking sad and depressing. I think that's honestly because I read the first 2 issues, I think, and liked it, but I think I was at a point where it was a little too much, and so I dropped it because I was like, I have enough depressing things. So
Like
I
if you
don't
think
know.
about it, even Batman's deals with mental illness, right? So it's
Oh, a
If you've
everywhere.
hundred
ever, if you,
percent.
if you've ever read Batman Ego, that's probably the best interpretation of that too. It's literally him having a
Mm.
conversation with his dark self. And I read it after I started
Ooh.
working on Hallowed North, and I put it down, and I was like, they did it already, and I was I was like, I felt a little bit like the wind had been taken out of my sails. It's like, oh, why am I writing Hallowed North now? They did it perfectly this first time.
I'm
Ah.
I'm finding out like this Batman by Zdarsky is very much in Batman's head right now. I haven't read this issue, but everyone's like, "Oh yeah, this is just Batman, or this is Bruce Wayne dealing with Batman." So
Yeah.
yeah,
Interesting.
it's there now. It's out in the
I
public
have
eye.
them. I have them. I haven't read through them yet. I got a stack of all current issues that I pick up at the store that stay on top of my long boxes, and I haven't touched them yet.
This
There
this
we go. That looks about right. Yeah,
I
that looks
feel
about
you.
right.
I totally feel you.
At
I
least you can
shouldn't.
hold them all in one hand. My hands are too small to do that. I'll drop them. Poor things.
And I think I have like two like another like 2 inches worth upstairs of just more comics that I haven't read. I'm very behind right now. I'm 2 weeks
I didn't
behind
know we
right now. And
measured
it's
comics by inches. I didn't know
like
that's how we measured stacks. How many
I
inches you got, bruh? Has a whole new meaning
uh,
now.
3 inches. Whoa, wait, hold on, wait. Talking about stacks of comics. That's the direction we're
Yeah.
going in right now. Okay, let's keep it family friendly, guys. All right.
Yeah. It's not like I say fuck shit damn all the time on here or anything. Don't worry about it.
Oh, do
Kids are
you?
used to it, right? That's a shame. But that
Kids have
all
more story
said,
words than everybody else. Yeah.
that all said, I'm gonna bring it back together. Yeah, Jeremiah. So I know you just finished the second Kickstarter for Hallowed North issue number 2. Do you want to give us an update on how that's going? Are you going to be launching a third Kickstarter for the third issue in the future? Like, what's kind of going on with Hallowed North there?
Unless any publishers listening want to pick up the book, then yeah, I'm going to be launching a Kickstarter probably in January, probably avoiding the holiday
Mhm.
season. The original plan was to do it as the books were heading out. But that would be November, and I don't really want to face holiday shoppers again.
Yeah.
So the book the progress is coming along really nicely. Jay has been sending me the pencils as he
Mhm.
progresses through the book, and I think he's almost done with it now. Yeah, I think he's almost through the penciling portion of the book. He likes to he's doing the inking and the coloring on the book as well, so he's taking care of all the art
Oh
production
wow.
on it. So he likes to do them in kind of like not an assembly line, but he likes to take care of one portion first, and then he likes to move on to the other bits of production. Um, so yeah, it's coming along really well. Every time I think I have a new favorite page from Jay or a new favorite panel from him, he will blow my previous expectations out of the water, and I'll be like, no, this one's my new favorite. No, this one is, which I think is a good
Mhm.
sign at the progression of the quality of the book. But it has been nice being able to have a little mental break from constantly promoting the book to making sure the script was absolutely right. I did a little
Mhm.
bit of procrastination. There was a part of me that wasn't sure that we'd be able to hit the funding goal. And even though I have like I had issues 1 through 4 written before I started even funding for the first Kickstarter. I didn't have the finalized script yet for issue 2, and I held off. I held off because I was like, it's not going to fund. We have too big of a goal this time around. We're not going to make it, but we made it, and it was like, oh well, now I got to make sure that I got to make sure it's edited now. So it's been nice to, once all that was taken care of, to be able to give it to Jay and like just sit back and watch all the pretty pictures come in.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at right now, and it's been a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, everybody make sure to keep an eye out. Check him out on Twitter. What's the Twitter handle of yours again? I know I follow you on everything, but
Jayn Espinoza. It's not an easy one to spell or type out, but if you see that there, Jayn Espinoza, or you can find Hallowed North. That's easier. You can find Hallowed North as well.
That's easy too. Well, sweet. Well, thanks for sharing all about Hallowed North with us. I figured before we do our last segment and announce the giveaway that we can play a little game. Are you guys up for a little game?
Yes, let's play games.
Jeremiah, you look scared.
I'm a little scared. But let's do it. I'm excited.
It's okay. There's absolutely no reason to be scared. So this game is something I like to call Indie or Big 2. So this is where your 2 guesses will be Indie or you will guess Big 2. So here's how we're going to play it. I will give you guys, and those of you in the chat as well, feel free to play along. I'll give you all a comic book solicit, and you get to tell me whether you think it's an indie comic or one of the Big 2, based on just the comic solicit alone. For each correct guess, you get 1 point. But if you can guess the correct category as an indie or Big 2, and you can name the publisher, you get 2 points instead of just 1. So, for example, if you guess indie comic and that was it, you get a point. Awesome. But let's say you answer a question, you say it's an indie comic and I think it's from Image Comics, and you get those both right, then you get 2 points for the question. So the more specific you can be, the more you get rewarded. Do you guys have any questions about that?
Would it be 3 points if we can guess artist and writer as well?
Yes, I will allow it. I will amend it to that rule. You've got it. Technically, that should be 4 points, because you should get one for the writer, one for the artist. Come on, man.
You see, I'm changing the meta of the show already. I love it.
You are. Jeremiah, do you have any questions about the rules?
Nope, I'm ready to go. Let's try it.
Let's do it. Alrighty. And some of these you might recognize throughout. So there's 10 total. This is our first one. Buddy takes a stand as the horde of infested animals continue to grow and close in on the Baker family. But the results are disastrous, setting up a chain of events that may lead Maxine right to the hunters. So your 2 guesses are, is it an indie comic that's being solicited, or is it one of the Big 2? The Big 2 are Marvel and DC.
I'm gonna go with indie. I honestly, I can't think of any Big 2 book that has this plot. And I feel like with the names, I should be able to guess. I feel like I should be able to guess, but I don't know for sure. So I'm gonna go with indie.
All right, Indie. Ballyrock says Indie. What you thinking, E-Man? You look like you. Do you think I'm trying to trick you?
I feel like you're trying to trick me. I feel like you may. I feel like. I don't feel like this. I don't know. I can say indie, but it could be like a haha. Just kidding. It's a Big 2, but it's on one of their like other labels. That's not part. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute here. I'm gonna go with indie, and I'm actually gonna throw out Boom Studios as the publisher.
All right. Well, DC fans, it is DC, so it's Big 2, and it's Animal Man, actually, from the New 52. So not even an off book, believe it or not. Not even a weird label.
Oh, so we're like going back that far too. Oh, okay. I'm thinking like, is this like that stuff that's coming up? All right, so I'm gonna go with DC, and I'm gonna go with.
Alrighty. On that note, we are going to solicit 2, everyone. Know the signs: black gums, gnarled bones, and haunting yellow eyes. When you spot a human shade out there in the endless night, run. What do you think it is, E-Man?
Oh, I'm gonna go with Image. I'm gonna go with Noctera. I'm gonna go with Greg Capullo,
Wow.
and I'm gonna go with Scott Snyder.
Wow. Alrighty, for the 4 points. Where are you thinking, Jeremiah?
Jeremiah saying the same thing as E-Man. Same thing as E-Man.
I was gonna say, I'm in agreement. I have the collector's edition here. I've read the scripts. I know this series so well. I love it. Yes.
See, there you guys.
Indie
Everybody
Image,
got
Noctera.
it. Yep. Noctera, 100%. All right, so we got 4 points for each. See, you guys are starting off like
2
barely
in, and we already
trying.
got 4 points. Bam, see. Just follow my lead. Just follow my lead. Jeremiah, just follow my lead.
All right, well, let's see. Honestly, a lot of these I don't even remember. I made this a couple days ago. So let's at number 3. Careful what you wish for. An ancient evil, gas lamp, has targeted SA. But what is this creature really after? Calvin's caught in this mess, and he could lose everything. Using magic has always has a cost, and SA's been racking up a gnarly bill. But when will that bill finally come due?
I'm gonna go with Indy. Wait, yeah, I'm gonna go with Indy. I'm trying to think about if you're gonna switch it up.
Well,
because
Ballyrock's
of,
saying Big 2, so something to think
yeah.
on. We're torn right now. Indy and Big 2. Both
Yeah,
ways.
I'm gonna go Big 2 also.
Do you guys have any guesses as to what the book is?
Something starring Calvin. I can tell you that. So Calvin has a big. He's got a
It's
big.
not Calvin Hobbes. I'll give you that one.
There's something big going on with Calvin here. So. Oh, look at that! Look, they're throwing it out. I'm not gonna take any ideas. I'm gonna go. I am still gonna go with
it's
Big
Strange
2.
Academy. Ballyrock got it.
Told you, sad. Look,
But,
I'm Team Ballyrock
man,
right now. Like,
you still get a point. But I think Ballyrock's winning. You guys gotta catch up to him, man.
no, no. We're the ones on the panel. Okay, we're the ones going for it already. Chat doesn't count. No, just kidding. Chat. Like, I need you right in chat. Don't leave me, please.
All right, chat. Now you have to beat him. Now you have to. So let's at number 4, the 3rd installment of the 5-issue first arc. New family members revealed. I feel like this one's just mean. Like, I'm gonna be honest. This one's just mean. But also, who has a 5-issue first arc, but it's a 3rd installment? I'm confused, personally.
Oh, I have it right here. We only find them when they're dead. Has something similar to this, where like the 3rd arc just started, but they were going back and talking about the first arc, and the first arc was like 5 issues. So I'm gonna go ahead and do. I'm gonna go back and say Indie, and I am gonna say Boom on this one.
Okay. You really like Boom today.
I do. I don't know. I don't. What's the next one? Boom. I'm just gonna go with Boom until I get it right. Boom's gonna come up
What if I
eventually.
didn't put a single Boom book in here? Are you just gonna come to my house and like ransack the place? Make your own Boom? It's at my house. Jeremiah, what you thinking?
I'm gonna go with Indy on it too. I'm trying to think. If I'm saying Indy, I'm also trying to think of the 3rd installment of 5-issue first arcs. I'm trying to think of which publisher can handle that kind of output right off the bat. So it's either Boom or Image. I'm just gonna say Indy. I'm not gonna guess a publisher on it. Wait, if we guess. Oh, so go ahead.
It's an indie.
It is
you did
indeed.
get the indie.
Sons of the Devil.
Image?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
Image. There's
Tony
that one.
Infante's on arts on that one. Ooh, I don't know what this is, but I like Tony Infante. Like, I collect his covers for We Only Find Them When They're Dead, just because I like his covers on that. So if he's drawn something like that, I'm. See, this is what your show's doing now. We're not just guessing comics. We're guessing comics that we eventually want to read. I am going to need to know this one right here. Sons of the Devil. Okay, sounds interesting.
And solicit number 5. As the nefarious ne'er-do-well, Count Nefaria threatens New York City, the nature of the ruby egress is revealed. You won't want to miss it.
I'm not typing anything. at all.
No cheating.
No, what? I'm not. Okay, I won't.
I'll
okay,
call Amanda
fine.
Waller.
Oh,
A president on you.
look, Bollyrock is just like, this is Marvel.
I hope there's no cheating over there.
I feel bad. I said he. I don't know if Bollyrock is a he. They. I do think I do think that this is a very big two type of feel with this one right here. So
Okay,
I'm gonna say
big
big
two.
two.
Yeah,
Do
I'm
you
gonna
wanna
go with
guess
Big
what's
Two
publisher?
also. I'm gonna go with Bollyrock.
Marvel.
I'm gonna say Marvel.
We have
Bollyrock, you're making everybody cheat.
we're
Yep, it's a
speaking our
Marvel.
own minds
Got it.
here.
But
wait.
the hard thing with this is that this technically is a Marvel book, but it was published by IDW. So how do you count this?
So what were the rules? Are we talking about who published it? See, hold on. Wait a minute here. Wait, hold on. How are we going to say this is a big two, but it was published by an indie? Hold on.
It was published by IDW, and they're indie, right?
Yeah.
It is.
It is a hard one. I didn't put what was the correct answer specifically because
I hate the
was
rules
like,
of this one.
let's talk
I hate the
to
rules. I hate the rules on this one.
We said big two. Technically, it's an indie.
It got you. It got you.
It did.
Eric says a half point for each. Do you guys want half points?
Half point for Griffin.
I will take all the points I can get. Yes.
All right. Well, before we do the next solicit, let's catch up on everybody's points. E-Man has 4, 5, 6.5 points, and Jeremiah has 5.5 points. And Bollyrock has infinite number of points.
Bollyrock's got all the points. Bollyrock's on point. That's the thing. They know what's up.
All right, let's do it. Solicit number 6. The Chinatown Noir keeps flipping the genre on its head as Edison Hart comes face to face with a killer and more suffering lust and soul than he'd ever imagined in Chinatown. E-Man, do you know what this is?
No, I don't know. Hold on. Give me a second to figure this one.
You look like you know it.
I'm not too sure. This sounds like it could be an Iron Man book, I believe. Hold on, wait. I'm gonna go.
Listen, Bollyrock,
Sure.
I think you're everybody's favorite stranger on the streets. I don't know if anybody watches the show Billy on the Street. I love that dumb show. And he does that where he does these game shows on the street with people in New York. And if they don't know an answer, he gives them random options. And sometimes one of them is, let's go beg a stranger. Everybody beg Bollyrock.
It's like a form of, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, where they have lifelines. I like this.
Yeah.
Jeremiah, I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna defer to you first. Do you know what this is?
I don't know what it is, but seeing, I'm gonna go with Big Two. I'm trying to see the way that these questions have been flowing, and I think we're up for another Big Two.
No. Okay, hold on. Let me go, and then let me go. I want you to think about your answer, and then I think we should give you the chance to change your answer. Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right? Okay.
Well, I was just thinking out loud. I hadn't said my answer yet.
Oh,
just,
good. Very.
Yeah, that was
we
between
didn't-
you and me.
No one heard anything. I don't know what Laura didn't hear nothing.
Right now.
I didn't
I'm
hear
gonna
anything
go
you're
right
talking
now.
about.
The more I think about it, in fact, I'm thinking indie. But anyway, keep going.
Yes, Yes, he said. Look, I'm thinking indie. I think I'm gonna go with what Jeremiah said. I'm going indie.
You guys are having a mind meld.
See, Jeremiah knows. You know what I'm going to throw out there? I'm going to go ahead and throw out there Image. I'm going to go out and throw out a name. Porn Sack, I believe, is the name. And I am also going to throw out, I think it's The Good Asian.
Oh. All right, well, that's your final answer. It's locked. Can't change it. Jeremiah, you can still finish your answer.
Same
All right,
as
well-
E-Man. Same as E-Man. You want same as E-Man.
Same as E-Man. I think it's an indie book published by Image.
Oh my God, dude, Jeremiah, you're good, dude.
Written by Porn Sack.
Yep,
and
it's The Good Asian.
Who'da thunk it? Wow, that's crazy. That's
Who'da thunk it?
that. Jeez.
Where were you in high school, E-Man?
Don't ask that question. Don't ask that question.
E-Man in high school, new comic. Black Label. Black Label.
Yes, total Black Label. Let's not talk about that past, okay? We're trying to stay away from that.
All right, so what is it? We got 3 points because Jeremiah copied E-Man's picture, and E-Man said the everything except you gave one person. Like
One
who was
person. I
that?
didn't get.
Ryder? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. We're almost there. Solicit number 7, which is my favorite number in case you don't know. Alicia and Felicity head for Hawaii to investigate the mysterious radio signals causing trouble across the world, but they find a new voice for the revolution.
New voice. Tell me more about this new voice. I like voices.
Clearly, they found your voice.
Oh man, you should hear the other voices I have, but they're not PC, and I don't think I should be doing them on live. But I have other voices.
I'm gonna have to bat the crazy people out of the chat section if you read those people here, man. OnlyFans, Monday at 9 a.m. with E-Man, everyone.
I'm not saying I have an OnlyFans. Well, I
Not
don't.
saying a thing.
I'm not saying I do, but
Jeremiah, where are you and your incredibly down to earth, important thought with this incredibly hard solicit?
Usually my experience with DC is that they have fake cities, so I'm trying a fake location. So I'm trying to figure out if this is Marvel or Indie off the top of my head. If it's DC, then then I have like no idea whatsoever. But
Starts a fire in the neighborhood. How dare it be DC?
Which book mentions Hawaii? No. I'm gonna. Oh God, I'm gonna go with Big Two. Why not?
All right.
Uh,
And I'm gonna
Big
guess
Two?
Marvel. Sure.
And Marvel. All right. E-Man, what you thinking?
same as Jeremiah.
All right.
I'm gonna play it safe. No, I was thinking. Honestly, I was thinking Marvel already, but looking at the names, I think I kind of messed up because I was like, oh, I know that name. That's so and so. And like, no, wait a minute, it's not. It's not so and so. So I already messed up. I said Big Two, and I think it's Marvel as well. But I'll tell you why in a little bit.
It's bombshells, DC bombs.
It's DC. God.
Jeremiah's gonna start a fire, guys. I hope you guys have your fireproof bricks up, whatever the hell that is.
Okay, I guess Big Two.
Well, you got one.
I get one, and the reason why I thought Big Two because I was like, Felicity, isn't that Black Cat? We're gonna go with that. It's Marvel. No, it's Felicia. Stupid. It's Felicia, not Felicity. Felicia.
Yep.
Is Black
Yep.
Cat. See, as you guys can tell, I'm an
Justice for
indie
Black
guy.
Cat.
Justice for Black Cat for sure.
Justice for Jeremiah at this point. I think Jeremiah's gonna start hating DC after this.
I hate this
All
game.
All right, I think this will be easy for everybody. So lesson number 8. Stork Odinson may have forged his own astonishing armor and become Iron Hammer, but is even that enough? That's worded weird. But is even that enough when Madame Hela, Masked Queen of Hell, comes for him?
I feel like this is maybe an Archie story, right? I'm pretty sure there's a Veronica and I feel like there's a Jughead involved in this. There has to be.
Yeah,
Right?
it was the worthy Jughead. Yeah. Exactly.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Jeremiah, please.
Okay, official answer is Big Two Marvel. Sure.
You sure you don't want to go with Archie? I feel like
Well,
telling you,
I
I think
Something like it.
I've read all of the worthy Jughead, but it hasn't. I don't remember the Iron Hammer showing up in that.
you sure it wasn't like one of the secret pages at the end? Man, this is
Maybe.
a tough one. I don't know. This Stark Odinson. I don't know why they sound so familiar to me. That's Jeez, this is a tough one. I'm gonna have to go with in Marvel. I'm gonna go with Big Two.
Is this a what if?
Yep, Infinity Warps. That's what that one is.
Infinity Warps. Oh, warps.
Warps.
Okay, Infinity Warps. Oh, this is an L. Ewing book too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I bet you it's fun. Anyone in the
Yep.
chat can verify if it's a fun book to read or not. Just skip it.
There's some cool combinations.
What
of people they put together.
what would have given that one away? That one was really strange. I don't know. Odinson, Stark, Hela. That's
I mean, look, I've heard all those names in
surprise.
Marvel, but there's no one named Stark Odinson, right? Like, who the hell is that?
Who is? Yeah.
All right, solicit number 9, second to last. On Broadway, there's always more drama off the stage than on. Snagglepuss navigates a world of love affairs, intrigue, and backstage backstabbing the best he can, aware that he holds the careers and lives of others in his paw.
Snagglepuss, like the Hanna-Barbera character.
I'm just
okay.
reading the solicit, man.
Snagglepuss. Like, anyone seen that movie? Was it Death to Smoochie? Death to Smoochie?
Death to Smoochie, yeah, the one with Robin Williams and
Rob-
Edward Norton.
Yes, yes. So it's pretty much like a Barney. Like, what would you do if Barney was like such a
terrible
fantastic? Well, no, because yeah, right. It was started off with what if Barney was a terrible person, and then you actually got someone who was really good, and then they just kind of flipped on you, and then you find out like, all these charities are like these big organizations just to make money off of kids. It's a terrible movie, but fantastic and fascinating. Has nothing to do with comics, so I'm just gonna go ahead and bring it right back to the conversation of what comic this could be right here.
I'm gonna go with Indy.
You know what? I'm gonna go against Jeremiah this time, and I'm gonna go big too. I don't know why. I just feel like being contrarian here, late stage of the game.
Maybe.
Going.
Ballyrock, maybe.
I feel like if it's DC, Jeremiah's just gonna quit.
Yeah, you're good. I'm gonna go offline all of a sudden.
So this is DC, which owns Hanna-Barbera.
Hanna-Barbera.
You were right.
He's like, all right, thank you so much for having me on the show.
I couldn't remember who owned Hanna-Barbera publishing rights, but then it makes sense though. Wait, no, because
WB.
yeah.
Look at DC Patrol, too easy. Well, it's got DC in his
I
name,
didn't
in their
see
name, so
Justin here, DC. What do you mean too easy?
too easy.
Where's the comment with the
This
answer,
one
man?
right here. This one right here. All right, so it was
All
big
right.
too.
I love this cover though. I can't lie. Like,
It's a
I love
Purple
that cover.
Panther.
it's cool.
Dun,
At least not Pink
dun,
Panther.
dun, 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 dun.
All right. Solicit number 10. It's the final solicit. This is the only thing in the solicit. I shit you not. Past tense. But because it's so hard, here's your bonus hint. Blame Zdarsky for this. Now, we all know, though, the problem with Zdarsky, he's written
everywhere.
Everybody. Yeah, he's written everybody.
Oh, dang. I don't know if the artist is the same on this one. I'm going... Jeremiah, do you have an idea?
I'm trying to think. I feel like I've read this one. I might have read this one recently, but I can't remember if I read it recently because I saw it in solicits or if I was researching Zdarsky after he got put on Batman. Ooh. No, I'm still thinking.
Okay, I have an idea. I think we can get bonus points by saying that Zdarsky wrote it. So I would go with that.
I think that's rigged. But you know what? It's the final solicit. You can have it.
Yeah.
You can have a bonus point. You can have a bonus point.
You get a bonus point.
Yeah, I'll be the Oprah bonus point. Fuck off, Oprah. This is my job now.
I'm going to go with Indy, written by
Okay.
Zdarsky.
Mm-hmm.
Are
you going to say boom again?
No, I'm gonna say
Oh.
Image. I'm gonna say Image on
Okay.
this one. I think I know. I even know what comic it is. Jeremiah, I can't say copy me this time because I'm not 100%
No,
sure.
that's actually the thought process that I was having too. I do think it's Zdarsky and Image.
I think it's
so Indy.
crossover. I think it's crossover.
Let's find out. It's actually a Marvel comic. This fucker wrote. Zdarsky really hates us all because that's the only thing in the solicit for this book. What?
Look, at least it wasn't a DC book.
It was not. You are correct. But you guys
What
get a
a
point for
trick.
it being Zdarsky.
Hey, see? Change the meta in your favor and you will get points. Bam! You see what I did for us? You see what I did for us, Jeremiah?
And listen, if you're mad
Well
about
done.
how this question went, blame Zdarsky.
Blame
Go
Zdarsky,
yell at him.
exactly.
I'm sure he'll have a great time. Maybe we'll get him on the show to have to deal with his own shitty solicits. We'll see.
There you
I
go.
love that.
There you
But,
go.
he's got to work on these solicits.
Make them all his. Just
Those-
have him guess which book it was for.
Those were good.
Yeah, he'd get them all wrong. That
That
would
was
be really fun.
fun. That was really fun. I hate Zdarsky for this, but that was really fun.
All right. So final scores for the people on here. For E-Man and Jeremiah here. We've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and a half points for E-Man.
Ooh.
And Jeremiah, we got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and a half, just behind by a point. If you are keeping track of your own points in the chat, to drop them below. We'll know if you're lying, but, drop your points below. Because unless somebody can beat E-Man's 13.5, E-Man is a champion of comic solicits today.
Hey. I have a feeling Ballyrock's gonna put in 52 and a quarter somehow, some way, and it's gonna make sense.
Quarter?
It's
The
gonna
math
work.
checks out.
50,
the math checks out. It's done.
Got the first name wrong, but got the last name right on one of them, or something like that. Watch, they're gonna do. It's gonna be like that. Well, thank you so much. I want to thank the Academy. I want to thank the community at large. Screen Actors Guild.
Ballyrock has made the official ruling. E-Man is the winner. Another round of applause. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You are the current champion of Indie or Big Two. Hopefully one day we'll have you back on so that you can have a new challenger and see if you can hold your trophy or not.
Bring them on. Bring them on. I will cut them. No, I mean, it sounds like a fun time, guaranteed.
Well, thank you so much for playing along, you guys. I hope the game wasn't too terrible, but again, if it was, blame Zdarsky.
Blame Zdarsky.
And maybe Oprah. I mean, blame her for the heck of it. Thanks to everybody that played in the live chat as well. Ballyrock, DC, Chase was in there. Did I miss anybody? I know Eric was playing earlier. Thanks for playing along. And I think we got to bring it back in, guys. We're going to go ahead and bring it all together and huddle up and do our neighborhood huddle. And then we're going to announce our giveaway real quick. All right. Yes, that's center yourself, everybody. Zdarsky did nothing. He can't hurt you anymore. DC cannot hurt you anymore. Center yourself. But yeah, let's just wrap it up real quick. And I want to hear what you guys are looking forward to in the next week or so, whether that's comics you're picking up, whether that's older comics you're reading, or if you're looking forward to a nerdy show, or if you're writing something. We want to hear about it. So Jeremiah, what are you looking forward to in the future of nerdiness?
Sure. I'm looking forward to my first local comic book shop visit in a few weeks. I'm going to be picking up my full box. I don't know what's going to be in there. I know that I have a few titles that I am getting right now, so I'm hoping to just have a nice new stack of comics to add to the inches that I'm currently dealing with
Inches.
right now. Yes, the inches. Yeah, that's our new measurement
Inches.
system. Inches. A gentleman doesn't say exactly how many inches he's going with, but there is a stack.
I'm just waiting for Twitter to blow up. Every comic person's like, "Hey, bro, how many inches you got?" And literally everybody that doesn't read comics is like,
that's got to be the new thing right there. That's the new standard. We're changing the meta of Lauren's world by adding inches and
in the
artists and writers.
Your popularity and your value is measured by inches. Thank you.
I'm
What
just
was he even doing in high school?
Some things never change. Some things never
Yeah.
ever change. Well, that's exciting. I'm hoping that you've got a good stack and that it doesn't break your wallet. So praying for your wallet, man.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Something is killing the wallet. Is that what's happening here?
Ooh, I like that. And where can people find you again, Jeremiah? Plug yourself away.
At Hallowed North, at JN Espinoza. If you go to jnespinoza.com, you've got access to all my socials. It's the same handle everywhere. You can also find Hallowed North available at that coffee shop there. So at Hallowed North. And yeah, check out the book. It's a really great story. I enjoy writing it. I think the work that we're doing, that Jay Sheik and I are doing, is really, I feel like it's important, and yeah, follow along. The second issue is coming this November.
Perfect. I'm super excited. It's going to be a banger. I'll be in my tears about it. Totally normal. It's okay, guys. E-Man, what are you looking forward to next week in nerdy stuff? And plug yourself away.
So there is a couple of cons coming up here in my area. So we have San Francisco Fan Expo happening in November. I'm looking forward to that. And within the next couple of weeks, we have San Jose Comic Con. It's a small little con that I'm going to try to do a travel style con video for that one right there. So just crossing my fingers that I can pull that off. What else? Looking forward to reading some of my many inches of comic books. So looking I'm going to show you guys. I haven't read Batman yet. I haven't read Magic yet. I really enjoy this series right here. Twig. We got to read Twig.
Revolution.
Really digging the Fox and Hare series right here on Vault. Basilisk. This one's almost ending, so I can't wait to finish reading that one. This one also is about to end once it features one of my absolute favorite reads over the last couple of years of Kieran Gillen and Dan Mora. And new book that people have been talking about, Starhenge, looking to dig into this. And come on, everyone knows about this one
It's
right
so
here.
Good.
Everyone knows. So I'm looking forward to reading these comics right here, and then hopefully adding a new segment to my show and reviewing stuff. So I might actually do reviews, as long as they can go beyond, oh, this book is pretty and I like the way it made me feel. It's fine. Hopefully I can articulate my review so that people are like, okay, that was quite informative. Thank you very much, E-Man.
Right.
I appreciate you. And then you guys can find me on YouTube at C-List E-Man, or you can find me on Instagram also at C-List E-Man. Also follow me with the C-List Villains here on YouTube, and follow our Instagram at the C-List Villains Podcast and C-List Villains.
Perfect. Well, thanks again for sharing all of that. I did want to point out some funny comments here. Chase says he measures fingers like whiskey. The stand is about 4 fingers. So its fingers are inches. I mean, DC Patrol, I think, meant to type on God in popularity. I'm negative inches. So are you like ahead of your reading? Is that what that means?
It's kind of like a, burrowing, like a, prairie dog.
We're going to need to make a scale after the show, guys. So, come to the show's Twitter and yell at me about it. But that said, guys, there's a Neighborhood Huddle. I've got one more thing to do before we end the show, and that is a new giveaway. I am very excited. I want to announce it on the show here. And then at 3 o'clock today, it will be on Twitter. So if you go to the show's Twitter at NBHD Comic Show, the giveaway will be live on there, and you can do what's needed for that. But I have this gay X-Men beanie, and I also have this Marvel Legends Mystique, which this sucker is easily like $60, in case you're wondering. I have not opened it myself. This is how I bought it. She's got that rogue changing head, the Lilandra head, I believe that is. Anyways, it's pretty cool, but it's something I want to give away to you all as the neighbors for being so awesome. So X-Men fans, is totally aimed at you. But even if you aren't an X-Men fan, you can get some really cool stuff here. So it's going to be live on the show's Twitter at 3 o'clock today. It'll end Saturday at 9 o'clock Eastern, 9 p.m. And then we're going to announce the winner on next week's show. So you'll have to tune in to find out if you won or not, obviously. But there you go. You get a whole matching set there.
Those are awesome.
Very excited. Yeah, very excited for it to go live. Hopefully, someone that loves it and doesn't just sell it, but we'll see.
Excellent. I see what you did there, Bolly Rock. You're clever.
That should be the next book that you write, Jeremiah. It's gonna be an X book, and it's gonna be excellent, and it's just gonna be very upbeat,
Fluffy.
very chaotic.
It's got to be fluffy. It has to be.
Day in the life at the Xavier Mansion. I like it.
Yeah, and you know, anytime somebody mentions DC, they just blow up a room in there.
I have an idea for it. I have an idea. Jeremiah, I need you to write this. Okay, I have an idea, and it's X-Men related. I need someone to write about the day in the life of like the housemaids, or like the dishwashers, or like the help of the mansion.
Oh,
You know, I know all the kids. I know all the X-Men. They don't all clean up after themselves. Can
The
you
support
imagine?
staff.
Can you
Support
imagine? Oh,
staff.
support stuff.
Yeah.
Look, I'm half
because all the
Latino.
support staff.
I'm half Latino. I'm used to just saying help. You know, it's just that's just how I grew up. But yes, support staff. Can you imagine the shenanigans and the stuff that they'll find? That would be insane. Like God damn it, they left this underwear again, and like it's like some like. I don't know, some weird kind of armor that only that one ex-kid can wear. Like, oh, dude, that'd be amazing. I want 5 cents for any time any of those books sell. Thank you very much.
I liked Ballyrock's comment in addition to what you're saying. The X-Mansion drains get clogged with so much blue hair. So much between Beast and Nightcrawler and whoever the hell else.
See, someone's got to write a story about the help. I mean, service crew. That would be freaking amazing, you guys. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hire Jeremiah for that, and I have an artist, and then Lauren's going to go ahead and help us publish it, and we're going to go ahead and push it. Boom, that's it. There, we can retire you guys. We just came up with the greatest idea ever.
That's exactly what happened. I had to leave because it was too good. And I was like, Marvel's going to sue me. 100%. They're going to come at me.
Cyclops, aquí tengo los lentes. I have your sunglasses right here. Where are you,
Oh
Cyclops?
my gosh.
You know, you and Bollywood, the Cyclops has a good day. There's the story.
Cyclops, ¿dónde estás? Aquí están. Mijo, ven, come here. I have your... Don't look, but I have them right
everybody. Thank you so much to everybody for watching this episode of your Friendly Neighborhood Comic Show. The giveaway will be up at 3 o'clock today. Very exciting with that and a hat. And if I can stop hitting my camera cord, that would be preferred. I'm going to have to fix that later. But that said, it'll be up later. And be sure to check out Hallowed North and check out Jeremiah's work. There's a reason he is on here. He's amazing. I will follow his work to the end of the earth. Check out E-Man as well. He is also amazing. You can tell both our energy's chaotic. I apologize in advance for this episode. And be sure to follow the show's Twitter at NBHD Comic Show so you can be in on the giveaway, take part in all the polls we do. We'll be doing a poll tomorrow, of course. And we'll be back next Sunday live on the show here at 1 o'clock. Have a good one, you guys.